I just wanted to touch on this because this has come up a couple times actually, and it's a really good question. I think anything exterior for somebody with Alzheimer's is overwhelming, especially when you're moving into the moderate stage. When you think about somebody with a healthy brain, people can be moving around, talking, walking. Why the bangs? Why the bangs? Okay. Walking around, moving, things can be going on, cars can be driving by, and your brain has the power and the energy and the biological function to sort out what's going on. When you have Alzheimer's, the parts of your brain that are dying cannot decipher all of the sounds, the noises, the people moving by, where your foot is going when you're walking. Your brain has to work extra hard to figure out what is going on. Often people with Alzheimer's have a hard time following people in conversation because the brain is working slower. So if you think about sounds, say I'm out at a grocery store, they have music playing, there's people physically walking by me, and then there's people around me talking, and sometimes the people on the speaker will be. So that is a lot of information for somebody who has a dying brain to process, and it can become so exhausting and so overwhelming because your brain can't follow even one of those things sometimes. So say I went to the beach today with a couple friends and it was quiet down at the beach. It was perfect. That I can handle. If it was, I went out last week with a friend and we sat at an ice cream shop and there was people coming in and out and it was too much for me. I went to a market with a friend and there was a lot of people around and it's too much for me. And that is because the overstimulation is essentially my brain cannot handle the movements of bodies, the sounds of bodies, the conversations, what am I saying? And then visual spatial is an issue. So if I'm moving and then there's all these sounds, my brain has to work really hard. Don't, turn around the corner, but don't hit the corner. Or, oh, there's a little lip here. Like you don't even think about it when you're walking down the street and you have a normal brain. You're just walking down the street. But when you have Alzheimer's, there's a visual spatial component where you're not entirely sure the placement of where your feet are or your body is in compared to a wall or a sidewalk or whatever. So your brain is working really, really, really hard. One, that's why Alzheimer's patients end up isolating because it's too hard to go out. And two, that's why, that's why people isolate when they have Alzheimer's because it's too much. I do so much better when I'm at home alone or if I have one friend over at a time. Because then I've now become so self-aware that I can say, I was on an appointment the other day and I was forgetting what I was saying. And then the woman was trying to cue me. And I said, can you please not cue me? Because that actually is too much distraction for my brain. It's such a listen, I didn't roll out of the womb thinking I'm going to have Alzheimer's and be this educated. I worked with Alzheimer's patients, but I was never the patient. And so now that I am, and I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous that sounds and people's bodies moving around me would be exhausting and I wouldn't fully understand it. That sounds weird. Trust me, it is, because I experience it. So it's such a good, valid question. Yes, sensory overload. Huge problem, especially in the mild. Well, I can't say the mild because for me, I didn't experience that in the mild stage. I'm in moderate stage right now, and it's a problem for me. So, yeah.